welcome to Story Time with me, Liz. Now today I'm going to be reading you quite a long story, but it's a brilliant story and it's all about having to give something up that you love. Now it's just started to rain outside and it's got very dark, so I've had to put the light on. And I thought, well, this is definitely the book to read when it's a bit grey and murky and dark and cold outside. It's the Last Noo Noo by Jill Murphy. And I've read some Jill Murphy books to you already. I remember reading Peace at Last, which is a book all about Mr. Bear and he cannot get a very good night's sleep. And I've also read Whatever Next, which is a book about Baby Bear going up into space. Now today I don't think we're going to be reading about the bear family. Oh no. Because the reason why I think that is because I'm looking at the front cover and this doesn't look like a bear to me. Does it? No, it looks like what does it look like to you? That's right, it looks like a monster. So let's find out what happens in this story. And also, I'm not too sure what a noo-noo is, so I'm hoping I'm going to find out. Now, as usual, I'm going to wriggle about so I get into a very comfortable position and that you can see the lovely pictures. And then we'll begin. Marlon sat on the floor watching TV. Marlon's granny sat in the armchair watching Marlon. "He's getting too old for that dummy," she said sternly to Marlon's mum. "It's a noo-noo," said Marlon. "He calls it a noo-noo," explained Marlon's mum. "Well, whatever he calls it," said Marlon's granny. "He looks like an idiot with that stupid great thing stuck in his mouth all the time." "He doesn't have it in his mouth all the time," soothed Marlon's mum. "Only at night or if he's a bit tired. He's a bit tired now, aren't you, pet?" Said Marlon. "His teeth will start sticking out," warned Marlon's granny. "Well, monster's teeth stick out anyway," observed Marlon. "Don't answer back," said Marlon's granny. "You should just throw them all away," she continued. "At this rate he'll be starting school with a dummy. At this rate he'll be starting work with a dummy. You'll just have to be firm with him." "Well," said Marlon's mum, "I am thinking about it. We'll just start next week, won't we, Marlon? Now that you're a big boy, we'll just get rid of all those silly noo-noos, won't we?" "No," said Marlon. "You see," said Marlon's granny, "one word from you and he does exactly as he likes." There was no doubt about it. Marlon was a hopeless case. Marlon's mum decided to take drastic action. She gathered up every single noo-noo she could find and dumped them all in the dustbin 5 minutes before the rubbish truck arrived. But Marlon had made plans just in case this would happen. He had secret noo-noo supplies all over the house. There was a yellow one down the side of the armchair, a blue one at the back of the bread bin, various different types in his toy ambulance, and his favourite pink one was lurking in the toes of his Wellington boot. His mother and granny were astonished. They could not think where he kept finding them. "You'll be teased when you go out to play," warned his granny. "A great big monster like you with a baby's dummy." Marlon knew about this already. The other monsters had been teasing him for ages, but he loved his noo-noo so much he just didn't care. The other monsters often lay in wait and jumped out on Marlon as he passed by with his noo-noos twirling. "Who's a big baby then?" jeered Basher. "Does the little baby need his dummy then?" sneered Alligatina. "Who's Mummy's little darling?" cooed Bumps the Daisy. Marlon always ignored their taunts. "You're just jealous," he replied. "You'd wish you'd got one too." Gradually, the secret supply of noo-noos dwindled. Marlon's mum refused to buy any more, and they all began to be lost or thrown away by Marlon's mum. Finally, there was just one left, the pink one. Marlon kept it with him all the time, either in his mouth or under his pillow or in the toe of his Wellington boot, where no one thought of looking. To his delight, Marlon found one extra noo-noo that his mum had missed. It was a blue one which had fallen down the side of his bed and been covered up by a sock. He knew his best pink Noo Noo wouldn't last forever, so he crept out and planted the blue one in the garden. All the other monsters decided to gang up on Marlon. They collected lots of different bits of junk and fixed them all together until they had made what they wanted. It was a Noo Noo snatcher. Then they waited behind a bush until Marlon came past with his pink Noo Noo twirling. "Here he comes," said Alligatina. "Grab it," yelled Bumps a Daisy. "Now," said Basher. With one quick hooking movement, they caught the ring of the Noo Noo with the Noo Noo snatcher and pulled. But Marlon clenched his teeth and held on. Monsters have the most powerful jaws in the world. And once they've decided to hang on, that's it. Marlon hung on, and the monsters hang on to their Noo Noo snatcher, and they stayed both sides pulling with all their monster might. And they would be there still, if Marlon had not decided, just at that very moment, that perhaps he was too old to have a Noo Noo anymore. So he let go, and all the other monsters went whizzing off down the road, across the park, and into the pond with a mighty splash. Marlon went home. "I've given up my Noo Noo," he said. "I sort of threw it into the pond." "Goodness gracious me!" exclaimed Marlon's mum, sitting down suddenly with the shock. "I told you," said Marlon's granny. "You just have to be firm." "Actually," said Marlon, "I've planted one, so I'll have a Noo Noo tree, just in case I change my mind." "That's nice, dear," said Marlon's mum. "Nonsense," said Marlon's granny. "Dummies don't grow on trees. A Noo Noo tree, how ridiculous." Well, I'm not sure if Granny was right, because there is Marlon's wonderful Noo Noo tree. We've come to the end of the story. Well, we found out what a Noo Noo is. It's a dummy. And although we have dummies when we're giving them when we're babies, at some point we do have to give them up. So I'm really pleased that Marlon was able to give up his Noo Noo. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope to see you really, really soon. But until I do, remember to stay safe, keep washing those hands for 20 seconds, and keep smiling. Bye for now. Bye-bye.